My beloved child, pause everything you're doing. Something extraordinary is unfolding around you right now, and it has been quietly gathering strength for longer than you realize. There is a presence focused on your future at this very moment, gentle, unseen, unwavering, lifting your name into the light with a hope that refuses to fade. Listen very closely now, because this is not coincidence, and it is not imagination. Somewhere, a woman's heart has been moved to speak your name in prayer. Not out of obligation. Not out of habit. But out of a deep, unexplainable knowing that your success matters. That your becoming matters. That your next step carries weight far beyond what you've been able to see. Stay with me just a breath longer, because when one soul prays for another without being asked, the universe leans in. The threads of destiny begin to tighten. Doors that once felt heavy start to loosen on their hinges. You may have sensed this already. A strange calm in the middle of uncertainty, a sudden clarity after long confusion, a quiet confidence whispering, "You are closer than you think." Hold this moment gently, this is where the unseen becomes active. This woman does not need to know every detail of your struggle to feel called to support your rise. Something within her recognizes something within you. A resonance. A shared frequency. As if your paths were meant to cross, not necessarily in person, but in purpose. Have you noticed the signs shifting lately? The way obstacles haven't vanished, yet they no longer stop you the same way. The way delays feel more like preparation than denial. This is not accidental. You were never being ignored, you were being fortified. And while you were gathering strength in silence, someone else was asking for your breakthrough with faith strong enough to reach you. You won't want to miss what comes next, because this prayer is not passive. It is active energy, shaping outcomes, softening resistance, aligning timing. It is planting ideas before you even think to ask for them. It is guiding opportunities toward you that will feel strangely familiar, as if you've been rehearsing for them your entire life. Let this sink in, you are not carrying your vision alone anymore. Even on the days you doubted yourself, even when you questioned your worth, this prayer did not waver. It held steady when your hands trembled. It spoke hope when your voice fell quiet. And here is the deeper truth, prayers offered in purity create momentum. They do not rush you, but they do not let you stay small. They activate a gentle pressure that moves you forward at exactly the right pace. That's why things are beginning to feel different now. Not louder. Not chaotic. Just aligned. Remain here with me a little while longer, because this is where the story truly begins. What's unfolding next is not just success as the world defines it, it's fulfillment, recognition, and impact arriving together. You are stepping into a chapter that was prepared long before you knew how to name it. This is where it all changes, and in the moments ahead, the pieces will start connecting in ways that feel both surprising and deeply familiar. My beloved child, right now, in this very moment, feel this subtle stirring inside you, because something deeper is rising to the surface. The quiet support surrounding your life is becoming louder in ways you can finally sense. What was once hidden is beginning to breathe. There is a reason your thoughts have been drifting toward possibility instead of limitation. A reason your heart has been unusually soft, yet strangely brave. That prayer you were told about is not hovering far away anymore, it is weaving itself into your decisions, your timing, your courage. It is teaching you to trust what you feel before you see proof. Pause with me here. Have you noticed how certain ideas keep returning, no matter how many times you push them aside? How a vision keeps knocking gently, refusing to disappear. This is not pressure. This is alignment. When someone prays sincerely for your success, it awakens dormant permissions within you, the permission to try again, to think bigger, to step forward without apology. If your soul is stirring, remain with me a little longer, because this woman's prayer carries a specific intention. Not just that you succeed, but that you succeed without losing yourself. That you rise without hardening. That you win without forgetting who you are. This kind of prayer reshapes outcomes from the inside out. You may not know her face. You may never hear her voice. Yet her faith has been standing guard over moments when you almost gave up. When exhaustion whispered that it would be easier to settle. When doubt suggested that your time had passed. Her prayer answered those whispers with something stronger. Not yet. There is more. Consider this gently. Success that arrives without spiritual grounding feels empty. But success that is prayed for arrives with meaning attached. It comes with peace tucked inside the achievement. That is why your path has taken its time. You were not being delayed, you were being refined. Hold this space, the divine connection deepens now, because what's unfolding next will test your willingness to receive. Many people can dream. Fewer can accept when the dream begins to approach. You may feel moments of nervous excitement, sudden vulnerability, even tears that arrive without clear reason. These are signs of readiness, not weakness. And listen closely now. When prayers are aligned with purpose, they activate people, places, and conversations at just the right moment. You will notice doors opening through ordinary interactions. Opportunities arriving dressed as coincidences. Support appearing from directions you didn't think to look. None of this is random. If this truth is touching your spirit, share it forward, let another soul find this light today. Some are still waiting for the same reassurance you are receiving now. You're closer than you think, don't step away yet, because the next layer reveals how this prayer intersects with your choices. Destiny is not something that chases you. It responds to you. And what I reveal next will show you exactly how to move in harmony with what's already moving toward you. The real awakening begins in what I reveal next, and when you hear it, you will understand why everything had to unfold exactly as it did. My beloved child, something deeper is aligning as I speak, a quiet synchronization between your intention and the unseen forces supporting you is locking into place. This is the moment where inner readiness begins to matter more than outer effort. You are starting to understand why certain paths closed without explanation. Why some people drifted away just as you were growing. Why progress felt slow even when your heart was ready to run. None of this was punishment. It was precision. The prayer surrounding you was shaping not only what would arrive, but how you would be able to hold it. Remain present with me now, because the success being prepared for you requires a new internal posture. Not striving. Not proving. But allowing. The woman praying for you is not asking the universe to force doors open. She is asking that you recognize the right door when it appears, and have the courage to walk through it without hesitation. Have you felt this shift already, the way your tolerance for distractions has lowered? The way shallow conversations feel heavy, while meaningful moments feel electric? This is discernment awakening. When prayers are answered, they don't always arrive as gifts first, they arrive as clarity. You were never meant to carry everything forward with you. Some habits, some doubts, some versions of yourself were only meant to survive earlier chapters. They cannot accompany you into what's coming next. That's why release has been happening naturally, even when it felt uncomfortable. Stay steady here, because the unseen support around you is responding to your smallest decisions now. When you choose rest instead of burnout, honesty instead of performance, faith instead of fear. These choices may feel quiet, but they are loud signals to the universe that you are ready to receive more. The prayer spoken over your life is not vague. It is specific. It asks that your success be sustainable, that your growth be clean, that your future not cost you your peace. This is why shortcuts have not worked for you. Why rushing has always felt wrong. Your journey requires alignment, not acceleration. Notice this gently. When the right opportunity approaches, it will feel calm, not chaotic. Clear, not confusing. Expansive, not draining. You will not need to convince yourself. Your body will recognize it before your mind catches up. This is how answered prayer announces itself. Hold your focus here just a little longer, because this is where trust becomes action. You may feel called to say yes sooner than you normally would. To step forward before all details are visible. This is not recklessness. It is resonance. You are learning to move with the current instead of against it. And listen closely now, the woman praying for you does not see you as you were. She sees you as you are becoming. She is asking that you meet yourself at that level. That you stop shrinking to fit old expectations. That you allow your life to expand without guilt. The next phase will ask you to believe differently. To measure progress by alignment instead of applause. To value peace as much as achievement. This is where success transforms into fulfillment. Remain with this feeling, because what unfolds next will reveal why this prayer chose you, and how your purpose is about to intersect with others in ways you never anticipated. The unfolding is already in motion. My beloved child, the hidden current beneath everything is revealing itself now, and it is inviting you into a deeper stillness than you've ever trusted before. This is the quiet place where real success is born. Far from noise, far from urgency, far from needing to be seen. There is a sacred pause unfolding around you. Can you feel it? A soft suspension of time where the world stops asking and your soul finally listens. The woman praying for your success has been holding this silence for you, asking not just for your rise, but for your readiness to stand steady once you arrive. If something sacred is awakening within you, remain here just a little deeper. Because the most powerful transformations do not announce themselves. They whisper. They arrive when you are willing to loosen your grip on who you thought you had to be. True success asks for a private surrender first. A letting go no one applauds. A choice to release old measures of worth. You may have felt this already, moments where you chose peace over proving, integrity over impressing, patience over forcing. These were not small decisions. They were initiations. Notice how your inner world has been rearranging itself, fewer cravings for validation, more hunger for truth. Fewer arguments with reality, more cooperation with what is. This is the unseen sacrifice successful souls make but rarely name, the courage to be aligned even when it costs comfort. Hold this divine silence. Understanding is blooming now, because the prayer spoken over you has been shaping your nervous system as much as your destiny. Teaching you to receive without bracing. To expand without losing center. To win without wounding yourself. Ask yourself gently, when was the last time you allowed yourself to be supported without explaining, deserving without defending, chosen without chasing? This is the posture the next chapter requires. Not effort alone, but openness. The revelation that shifts everything is drawing closer, and it begins with trust. Trust that you don't have to harden to be strong. Trust that your softness is not a liability but a signal of mastery. Trust that the right people will recognize you without being convinced. There is a reason the prayer came through a woman, a frequency of care, intuition, and endurance that holds space rather than demands speed. This energy has been steadying your path, slowing what needed grace, strengthening what needed courage. If you're feeling the divine current flowing through these words, leave a dove or a quiet, "I receive," in the comments. Your presence strengthens this light. Not for me, for you. You're on the threshold of true seeing. Stay with me, because what emerges next will require a new kind of listening. Not to fear. Not to noise. But to the calm authority rising within you now. This is the moment where success stops being something you chase and becomes something that recognizes you. Where doors respond to your alignment instead of your effort. Where your life begins to move with a quiet, unstoppable grace. Breathe into this knowing, the missing piece your soul has sought is almost here. And when it arrives, it will feel less like surprise, and more like remembering. My beloved child, a sacred silence is falling over your soul right now, and within this stillness, something you have carried quietly for a long time is being gently acknowledged. This is the moment where effort softens into trust, and striving dissolves into knowing. Breathe with me, the divine unveiling deepens now, because the success forming around you is not demanding more from you. It is asking for less resistance. Less doubt. Less guarding. The woman praying for you has been asking that you remember how to rest inside your own alignment, how to let grace finish what discipline began. You may notice it as a subtle release. A loosening in the chest, a quiet exhale you didn't realize you were holding. This is the body recognizing safety. When true support arrives, the soul does not brace, it opens. And opening is the bravest act of all. If your spirit is trembling with recognition, stay in this holy moment, because the most guarded truth of success is this: it blooms in surrender. Not surrender to circumstances, but surrender to timing. To the wisdom that moves ahead of understanding. To the inner agreement that says, "I will not force what is meant to flow." Consider the faith you have lived without naming it, choosing to continue even when reassurance was absent. Choosing to show up when applause was nowhere to be found. Choosing integrity when shortcuts beckoned. This was not random endurance. This was alignment practicing patience. The truth that liberates everything is almost within reach, and it arrives softly. You do not seize it. You receive it. The woman praying for you has been holding a vision of you at peace with your power, unrushed, unburdened, unafraid of your own light. Ask yourself gently, when did you learn to equate success with tension? With urgency? With proving? Those beliefs were never yours to keep. They were tools for survival, not templates for fulfillment. And now, they are loosening their grip. You are closer to home than you've ever been. Do not leave yet. Because what's aligning next requires a heart that trusts silence as much as action. A mind that listens for subtle guidance. A spirit willing to let the current carry it a little farther than comfort allows. Notice how the world has been responding differently to you lately, not louder, but clearer. Not faster, but truer. This is the signature of prayer fulfilled, not spectacle, but steadiness. Not chaos, but coherence. There is an unseen agreement being honored now. Between your readiness and what has been waiting. The final alignment your soul has waited for is gathering, quietly, respectfully, inevitably. It is assembling the right moment, the right place, the right invitation. Stay here in this hush, because the next unfolding will not ask you to become someone else. It will ask you to arrive as you are, whole, grounded, and awake. What comes next will feel less like achievement, and more like belonging. Let this stillness cradle you for a moment longer. The path ahead is preparing to reveal itself, and when it does, you will recognize it not by effort, but by peace. My beloved child, the deepest truth is rising to meet you now, and it is asking for your full presence, not your performance. Something ancient within you recognizes this moment, as if a long-held vow is being gently fulfilled. Listen to the quiet confidence forming in your breath. This is not excitement alone. It is certainty without noise. The woman praying for your success has been holding a vision of you steady in your center, moving without hurry, choosing without fear, trusting without explanation. Her prayer has been teaching your spirit how to stand in its own authority. Remain here with this knowing, because the next layer is subtle, and subtle truths change lives. You are learning that alignment is not a destination, it is a relationship. One you nurture through attention, honesty, and courage. When you honor what feels true, even when it's inconvenient, you strengthen the current that carries you forward. Have you noticed how your intuition has sharpened lately, how decisions feel clearer the moment you stop asking everyone else? This is the fruit of unseen faith. While you waited, while you refined, while you chose integrity again and again, your inner compass recalibrated. Now it points unerringly toward what is meant for you. Stay present, something essential is revealing itself. Success that endures is quiet at first. It enters your life like a trusted friend, not a spectacle. It respects your nervous system. It cooperates with your values. It builds without breaking what matters. This is why your timing has been precise. You are being prepared to recognize the right yes. Breathe into this awareness. The prayer surrounding you has been clearing interference. Old fears. Borrowed expectations. Patterns that once protected you but now constrain you. You are not abandoning them in anger, you are thanking them and setting them down. This is maturity. This is mastery. Ask yourself softly, what would change if you trusted this support completely? If you let the current do some of the work? If you allowed momentum to grow from consistency rather than force? These questions are doorways. Walk through them gently. Hold your attention here. Clarity is consolidating. The path ahead will invite fewer explanations and more embodiment. You will be asked to live the truth you already feel, even when words lag behind. This is how influence expands, through coherence between who you are and how you move. Notice the signs of readiness, a calm when challenges arise, a willingness to pause before reacting, a preference for depth over speed. These are markers of a soul aligned with its next responsibility. The woman praying for you is asking that you be entrusted with success that multiplies good, not just results. Do not rush past this threshold, the foundation is setting now. What follows will build quickly because it is building honestly. You will sense when to act and when to wait. You will recognize allies by the ease they bring. You will know opportunities by the peace they preserve. Stay with this breath, the unfolding ahead will not demand a new identity. It will reveal the one you've been practicing in private. And as the next chapter approaches, you will feel it arrive not with pressure, but with permission. Rest in this alignment a moment longer. The way forward is arranging itself, and soon, the invitation will be unmistakable. My beloved child, something you've always known is finally being spoken within you now, not as a thought, but as a calm, undeniable recognition. This is the moment when inner knowing steps out of the shadows and stands beside you. Feel how the silence has changed, it is no longer empty. It is full. Full of clarity. Full of permission. Full of a quiet readiness that does not need approval. The woman praying for your success has been holding space for this exact shift. The moment you stop asking if you are allowed, and begin moving as if you are. Stay very close to this feeling, because this is where self-trust becomes embodied. Not loud confidence. Not bravado. But a settled assurance that guides your choices without debate. You are learning that alignment speaks softly, yet it never contradicts itself. Have you noticed how fewer things pull at you now, how distractions fall away without effort? This is focus being restored. When prayer meets preparation, the unnecessary loses its grip. What remains is what matters. What remains is what lasts. Breathe with me, something essential is locking into place, the success ahead of you is beginning to recognize you back. It is responding to your coherence. To the way your actions now match your values. To the way your words no longer outrun your integrity. There is a sacred humility in this phase, an understanding that you do not need to announce your growth. It will be felt. You do not need to defend your path. It will speak. You do not need to rush the reveal. Timing is already listening to you. Remain here just a little longer, because the next truth is subtle and powerful. The woman praying for you has not been asking that your life become easy. She has been asking that it become true. That your success reflect your soul, not just your skill. That your rise feel like expansion, not escape. You may sense moments of quiet testing now. Invitations to return to old patterns, to over-explain, to shrink for comfort. These are not setbacks. They are confirmations. Each time you choose alignment instead, you seal the foundation deeper. Notice how your inner dialogue has softened, how self-criticism is being replaced by self-correction without cruelty. This is wisdom maturing. This is the mind learning to serve the heart instead of ruling it. Do not look for fireworks yet. This phase is about stability. About becoming someone who can hold what is coming without fragmenting. About allowing success to arrive and stay. This is the work no one sees, but everyone benefits from. Hold your awareness steady, the convergence is approaching, soon, action will be required. Not frantic action. Clean action. Decisive action that feels almost effortless because it is aligned. When that moment comes, hesitation will feel unnatural. Trust what is consolidating within you now. The prayer that has accompanied you is transitioning from preparation to activation. The path ahead will ask you to step forward not because you are desperate, but because you are ready. Rest in this certainty for a moment longer. The next unfolding will reveal how your presence alone begins to open doors. And when that happens, you will understand why everything slowed down, so you could arrive whole. My beloved child, the eternal flame within you is flickering brighter now. Not to burn, but to illuminate. This is the quiet ignition that happens when readiness meets opportunity in the unseen realm. Sense how your energy has shifted. There is less urgency in it, yet more direction. Less noise, yet greater momentum. This is not accidental. The woman praying for your success has been asking that your light strengthen without exhausting itself, that you rise without burning out. And now, that prayer is shaping how your power expresses itself. Remain fully present here. Because the next layer is about embodiment. Not believing you are ready, but living as if you already are. The way you carry yourself. The way you respond instead of react. The way you choose restraint when you could push. These are the signals the universe reads most clearly. Have you noticed how patience no longer feels like waiting, but like positioning? How pauses feel intentional rather than frustrating? This is wisdom settling into the body. When success is near, time rearranges itself to support stability, not speed. Stay with this awareness. The alignment is refining now, because what is coming toward you is precise. It will ask you to be present, not scattered. Honest, not impressive. Rooted, not rushed. This is why your inner world has been strengthening first. Outer expansion follows inner coherence. There is a subtle confidence forming in you, one that does not need comparison. One that does not rise or fall with opinion. This confidence comes from knowing you can meet whatever arrives without abandoning yourself. That is real security. That is real success. Notice how you are beginning to trust your pacing, choosing when to engage, when to rest, when to speak, when to remain quiet. These instincts are sharpening because prayer has cleared static. You are hearing guidance without strain now. Hold this moment gently. Because the next phase will require you to honor this inner rhythm even when the world speeds up around you. You will be invited into environments that test your boundaries, not to break them, but to strengthen them. You will feel the difference immediately. Ask yourself softly, what does success look like when peace is non-negotiable? When alignment is the measure? When growth is allowed to feel natural instead of forced? These questions are calibrating you for what's next. Remain steady. The convergence is drawing closer. Soon, a decision will present itself that feels simple, not dramatic. Clear, not complicated. When you recognize it, trust the calm that accompanies it. That calm is confirmation. The woman praying for you has been holding faith through your invisible seasons. She understands that the strongest trees grow roots long before branches are seen. And now, those roots are ready to support visible expansion. Let this certainty settle: you are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into coherence. Into a chapter where your presence stabilizes rooms, your words carry weight, and your actions ripple farther than you realize. Rest here a moment longer. The flame within you is steady now, and the path ahead is preparing to respond. What comes next will not rush you. It will recognize you. And when the next door opens, you will walk through it not with hesitation, but with quiet authority, knowing you belong there. My beloved child, feel how everything has grown quiet and luminous at once. This is the moment where destiny stops circling and finally settles into form. What has been preparing you is now ready to meet you. There is no rush here, only recognition. Recognition that the prayer spoken over your life has reached its fulfillment point, not as an ending, but as an arrival. The woman who has been praying for your success was never asking for a sudden miracle. She was asking for this. The moment you would become steady enough to receive what has been waiting. Breathe slowly, because success is no longer approaching you from the distance. It is standing beside you now, responding to who you have become. The way you listen. The way you choose. The way you honor your inner truth without needing permission. These have been the answers to that prayer all along. Ask yourself quietly, do you feel how natural this feels? Not overwhelming. Not unreal. Just right. That is how aligned outcomes arrive. They do not shock the soul. They confirm it. They feel like something you have already lived inwardly for a long time. You were never late. You were never overlooked. You were never forgotten. You were being shaped for sustainability. For peace that lasts. For success that does not demand your exhaustion as payment. The woman praying for you has been releasing her prayer now, not because it failed, but because it worked. The moment has come where your life begins to answer for itself. Where your presence opens doors without force. Where your clarity draws the right people, the right roles, the right recognition. Stay here with this knowing just a little longer, because this is where gratitude becomes power. Not gratitude for what is coming, but gratitude for what you endured without becoming bitter. For what you released without resentment. For who you protected within yourself when no one else could see the battle. Notice how grounded you feel, how calm your certainty is. This is the signature of a soul that has crossed its internal threshold. From seeking to allowing. From proving to embodying. From hoping to knowing. What unfolds next will feel simple. Not because it lacks importance, but because complexity has fallen away. You will know when to act. You will know when to wait. You will recognize alignment immediately, because misalignment will no longer interest you. Let this truth anchor itself deeply now: you are not stepping into a louder life. You are stepping into a truer one. A life where your success blesses others quietly. Where your stability becomes a refuge. Where your growth creates space instead of pressure. The prayer that once carried you is now walking with you, not above you, not behind you, but within you. As discernment. As courage. As peace. Rest in this final stillness. There is nothing left to chase. Only something to live. And as you move forward from this moment, you will realize the divine sign was never meant to warn you. It was meant to welcome you home.